Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So Gervonta Tank Davis, he comes out and he hints that he's about to fight another world champion, and he says he's about to do some spectacular shit. The implication right there is Gervonta's next fight will be a spectacular one. And obviously, to have a spectacular fight, you gotta have a spectacular opponent. Now, what's pretty interesting is Tank Davis, he kind of hinted at who he might be fighting next, because he was asked by a fan on Twitter, is the fight going to be at 130 or 135? Gervonta responded by saying neither. But then for some reason, Gervonta, he deleted that tweet. So it makes you wonder why he would delete it. Did he delete it because now he realizes the fight can actually be made at 130 or 135? Did Floyd Mayweather tell him to delete it because he doesn't want anyone figuring out who Gervonta is going to fight next before Floyd Mayweather can make the big announcement? It's really hard to tell. But just going off of the hint that Gervonta Tank Davis said that it won't be at 130 or 135, obviously that means the fight, it could be at 126 or it could be at 140. Or like I said, because he removed the tweet, it could actually still end up being at 130 or 135 as well. But let's just go with the previous tweet. Let's imagine that it's not going to be at 135 or 130. Then obviously that means if it's at 126, it's going to be Gary Russell. We know Gary has been, talking a lot of trash about a Tank Davis fight. But it's also a possibility, and I'm just saying only a possibility, that Gervonta Tank Davis could be talking about a Mario Barrios at 140 because he's the WBA regular champion there. And it would make sense because we all know Tank Davis's promoter, Floyd Mayweather, he made a career fighting Mexican fighters on Mexican holidays. I'm sure he wants Gervonta to follow the same blueprint. Mario Barrios is a good undefeated champion. He's trained by Virgil Hunter. That would be a good matchup. And then you also have the possibility, the slight possibility, that he could be fighting against Manny Pacquiao or trying to make a Manny Pacquiao fight. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, after Manny Pacquiao beat Adrian Broner, Gervonta Tank Davis, he called out Manny Pacquiao. He called him out right away on his Twitter. Okay? Gervonta Tank Davis has always teased the idea of fighting somebody at 140. There was a time when he was calling out Adrian Broner, and he was talking about fighting Adrian Broner at 140. So he's talked about fighting at 140, but I don't recall him ever saying that he would go all the way down to 126 for the right fight. I've always heard him say, I could fight at 135 or 130, but I'd never heard him say anything about 126. So that would kind of surprise me if it is Gary Russell that he's looking at fighting next. Now, don't get me wrong. All of those fights that I just mentioned are great fights. Tank versus Gary Russell, Tank versus Mario Barrios, and of course, Tank versus Manny Pacquiao. Will be some great fights. So, when you hear Tank say, I'm about to do something spectacular, it would have to be a big move in the sport of boxing. So even though we don't know who it is exactly right now, we know who it won't be, and that's Ryan Garcia. Even though Ryan is now telling reporters that he is only going to be fighting Manny Pacquiao or Gervonta Tank Davis next. He said even if they try to make him fight someone else, he's not going to fight him. But then right after he said that, he says, look, I'm just telling you guys, this is what I want, but it's out of my hands and up to Golden Boy. And we already know Golden Boy and Ryan Garcia's whole team don't think that Ryan is ready for a Tank Davis fight. Ryan's own trainer said he didn't think he was ready. Canelo said he needs at least another 2 to 3 fights. And even Oscar De La Hoya had hinted at the fact that Ryan wasn't ready for that fight. So that's why I don't see that fight happening, and that's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Because that was the fight both Ryan and Gervonta needed to really catapult their careers into superstar status. Let's see if Tank's next opponent can help him in that department. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. Now check this out. If you've lost your hair or you have a receding hairline, the time has come where you can finally get your hairline back with a process called scalp micropigmentation. So here's how it works. It's a hair tattoo that actually replicates your hair follicles. So if you want this hookup, contact my man Scalp Carolinas at 704-499-3471. This man, he does all of his own procedures. He serves people from all over the world. And he's rated with a 5.0 when it comes to reviews on Google. So don't wait, contact my man as soon as possible to get this hookup. All right, now check this out, guys. If you're looking to repair eczema scars, burns and bruises, dark spots and blemishes, this right here is the perfect product for you guys. It's called LODT, Face and Body Wash. Athletes and top-ranking boxers, they're also using it after training to reduce swelling, inflammation, and to ease the pain. So get yours today. Go to LODT.com, like them on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram. Make sure you go ahead and contact my man Scalp Carolinas on Instagram.
Platform to build a fight. Now, don't get mad at me. I'm not here for clout. I was doing just fine. Don't try to make a lie on me. That's what I don't accept. You don't lie on me. That's unprofessional. 1, 2, we're supposed to be on the same